Hey everyone, Charting Man Dan from ChartGuys.com. You know, behind every single video that we put out every single day, there's a wonderful community of traders that we want to invite you to be a part of. Try the free 7-day trial and gain access to our live market broadcasts every morning and afternoon, interact with hundreds of like-minded traders, or take part in one of our dedicated chat rooms, each led by an analyst that's there to answer your questions in real time. Our trial is risk-free with absolutely no commitment or credit card required to experience the TCG community. For those looking for a head start in technical analysis, check out our entries and exits course in the link below in the description. Get up to speed with the fundamentals of TCG technical analysis and experience over 5 hours of great community-driven trading education. Hello, checking in on SPY IWM QQQ heading into Wednesday, May 24th. So another day that the bulls see upside. We have 3 higher opens in a row. They're technically not gaps because of the wicks here, but they're higher opens, and the psychology behind the bearish reversal 3-gap up pattern is that the bulls have exhausted themselves to the upside. So technically this would not fit the definition, but it tells me the same thing, that the bulls are exhausting themselves to the upside. Look at the volume. The volume is non-existent. So I've been looking for SPY to set a lower high and to pull back for a few days now, and it hasn't happened. And I'm sitting here scratching my head and wondering where in the world the bears are, because they're not around, and we are seeing further upside even though we don't have volume to really back it up. And we're not really seeing much strength. It's just, if you've watched the trading during the day, we're just kind of hanging on and very, very slowly moving to the upside. Not really any conviction, but again, there is not a bear in sight, so the bulls are having an easy way of it. So I personally am not looking for any bullish positions up here. I'm not comfortable doing so. Day trade, sure, but I do believe that we are going to set a lower high. If we hit a new all-time high tomorrow, I'm just going to sit there and scratch my head and say, whatever. I'll sit on my hands. I'd rather sit on my hands and not make a trade and miss a little bit of upside here for the bulls rather than get into bullish positions when I'm not comfortable. I'm looking for consolidation. I'm looking for a lower high to form compared to the all-time high, and I'm looking for a higher low to then form after we consolidate a bit down towards 238. Weekly time frame, bulls completely negating the bearish reversal candlestick from last week. The bulls bought that dip. They're holding on just fine, holding exponential supports. Weekly middle Bollinger Band is ascending. We've got IWM still following through to the bounce for the upside. We've got support. We've got a gap fill at 137.62. We did fill that gap today. Same thing. There's no volume behind this move on IWM. It's just trickling off to the downside. Bulls are going to have to get over 139.48 to change the trend here on IWM in the sense of breaking this lower high and lower low pattern that we've been watching all of May. But if the bulls can get over that level of 139.48, then the bulls will change that. But obviously, we're not going to shoot straight up to that level from here. We're going to have to pull back and form a higher low and then try and see a higher high and try and change this downtrend we've been in over the last month. Obviously, on the weekly time frame, we've been in an uptrend for quite some time. Higher lows and higher highs, rejecting from the upper Bollinger Band and pulling back. And the bulls establishing that new higher low at 134.23. Bulls need to hold that level on this weekly longer-term time frame to remain in full control. QQQ continues to be the shining star. Just missed the all-time high today. We've got 139.64, 139.42. The tech sector started with strength today and then faded, but the financial sector was right there to pick up the slack and keep the market bulls in full control. So a bit of a tag team effort by the sectors this morning. But we see that little bit of consolidation because of that tech sector weakness towards the second half of the day. So the bulls are still in full control here, on the verge of all-time highs, just like the S&P 500. If we cannot get all-time highs and we consolidate a bit, we'll look to form a higher low and watch this range tighten. And I keep looking for this equilibrium pattern because after periods of high volatility, which we certainly saw last week on Wednesday, the most common reaction is an equilibrium pattern of higher lows and lower highs while things settle down. So I'm still looking for it. And if I miss further upside from here, don't think it'll be significant through the all-time high unless there's some kind of catalyst. But again, looking for a lower high to form, looking for normal healthy consolidation. We'll see if we get it tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great night.